Miss, can I shake that thing, yo? Annabella shake that thing, Miss Donna, yo, Miss Jody and the one named Rebecca, yo, shake that thing, 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 shake that thing.
I'm the hottest round. I told y'all mother, y'all can stop me now. Listen to me now. I'm less than 20 rounds. And if you want me, then come on get me now. Is you with me now? The biggie bounce. I know you dig the way I switch my style. People sing around. The people gather round. The people jump up. Get your phone. Get your phone. You just want attention. These hoes ain't loyal. No. Loyalty. These hoes ain't loyal. Loyalty. These hoes ain't loyal. No.
Back. All right, we'll stop all that real quick. Hold on. I gotta make sure my lighting was on, because here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Can you guys got me loud and clear? Appreciate it if you do. He said, be the Haas. Hey, Haas Company, Marantz. Thank you so much for the cool cap. Really awesome of you. Yeah, tell me about it. We sounding good? All right, perfect. These 304s ain't loyal into loyalty. It's crazy. Yeah, so just so that we're clear, I'm on a timeline tonight. I don't know when. Whenever dinner's ready, whenever everybody comes over to the house, I got to get up out of here. But no, because I haven't done a live stream standing up in a while, so that's why it's a little different. And I see there's a lag from like when I'm talking, when I'm recording. It's like a little laggy. I don't know if you guys get it right on time or not. I apologize if it's lagging. Everything is it's a little off right now. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but do my best. I actually got offered to do my podcast out of a professional studio, and that's not going to happen just yet. It's a possibility. There's a really nice studio across town, and I'm being offered. And I saw the work. Oh, it was so good. But I just said, it's a little bit too pricey at the moment. But I'm going to see what I can do later on when we get bigger and better. And so it's a dream of mine to be in a studio like that. So maybe one day. It's like those guys you see, those top podcasts. Think about it. I built this in my kitchen, and with a streaming set from GameStop, and I actually have people approaching me to do a live stream in their studio, and that meant a lot to me. And he said, I think you would thrive in this environment, and you'd be great if you would just put your money back into it and do it over here. And he gave me all the ideas. It's just, to give you an example of what it costs, guys, it's like $600 an hour to live stream, to do a broadcast. And it's the equivalent of having studio time for a musician. What would you pay to rent out a studio spot? And there's like $50,000 worth of cameras and lighting. And I'm working it out in my head, because once you see a video like that, like as I saw a sample, I saw everything, I was just blown away. I was like, oh my God. I said, if I had that editing and I had that type of backing, I'd have 1 million viewers tomorrow, because it's undeniable, the professionalism. Now I understand how Candace and all them do it. But we have the content. It's just willing to, have that backing. She married a billionaire, so it's a little different for me. Me and my wife out here grinding, giving away half our money to GameStop and kids on the street, and it's okay. I'm going to get there. And I'll tell you how I'm going to get there, okay? I'm going to get there because I bought a lottery ticket. A couple of lottery tickets. But here's the thing about lottery. Lottery is $1.1 billion, but I agreed to split it with all my employees. So, and I have a lot of them, 30 plus, whatever it may be. So, yeah, don't worry. If we win, then I just get a cut of it. No edits, no cuts. Your streamer's AAA. I appreciate that. If it ain't broke, Marantz, don't fix it. All I'm saying is, if you guys saw if you bring that background, then absolutely. Yeah, Michael, this is so legit. Like, it's all like what it really is, right? But if you would have saw what I've seen, it was just too much, man. It was to the point where I was like, yo, this is like driving a Ferrari. I was like, it broke my heart, man. I told my wife, I said, baby, I got the money. She's like, you got the money? I said, yeah, I got the money. We won't have it after like 6 episodes, but I got the money. Shit. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, back to the facts of the show. Tonight is my daughter's birthday. So they're in there, they're cooking right now. Her meal that she requested, I offered to take her to any restaurant. I said, honey, would you like sushi, steak, spaghetti? I don't care what it is. Italian. Name the spot you want to go to. She said, I want to go home. Mama's cooking's best. She wants Mama's tacos. That's what she wants. I told you, man. Mom's tacos. I can't have the tacos. You guys know I'm on a diet. And even though they have the house full of crumble cookies and cake and ice cream and sugar and sweets, the whole thing's crazy right now. Not for me. I'm eating ground beef and lettuce, and you'd be surprised what I had for lunch. I had a salad, an absolute salad, and with no meat in it, nothing, just greens and cucumbers and carrots, and I'm just doing what I can to get right in life, and I want to feel healthy again. I want to look healthy again. I was looking at streams of me like from a year ago, 2 years ago, when I had my cheekbones back and I was running up and down the mountains. I don't have the energy to run up and down mountains or the time right now because it's the holidays and because it's my daughter's birthday and things like that. But when I find the time to finally get free, hopefully I will have lost. I lost 13 pounds last week. So we know men lose weight faster. No. We also gain weight faster. So it's a double-edged sword. But I'm doing it right this time. So trying to. Anyway, it was a fun listen, last night's stream. The Taylor talk, 2 nights ago, whatever it was. Thank you so much for that. That was a good video. Here's the thing about Taylor. I watched it a couple of times, Taylor. I watched that episode 4 more times. Whenever I talk to somebody, I don't take everything in the moment because I'm constantly thinking up what I'm going to say next because, hey, it's pretty clever and you ask me some questions and I got to have answers. But I want to go ahead. We can run that back. You just won't ever hear from Taylor again. Taylor was blocked and banned on this channel. And then in the Discord, we gave him 24 hours to come correct. And instead of that, he just came in with the whole negative attitude again. And it's one thing to have a different point of view. You could have that. I wouldn't care. Honestly, I don't agree with this. Okay, cool. But what happens when the numbers come in front of you and then you see it for yourself? Are you still skeptic? Are you still like on backpedaling? Like there's nothing to backpedal from. You can just admit you're wrong and then we're good. But say, oh, I wonder how GameStop's going to perform now. It's like, what do you mean? They've been performing for 6 quarters straight and or more ever since Ryan Cohen got there. They've had a profitable quarter. So I don't know why people feel the need to come in and attack GameStop on our platform when they have their own investment channels. But I know people are jealous of our investment channel. People want to be in part of this eclectic group. I mean, think about what you guys are. You guys are investors. You guys are not the tree huggers that the MMTLP group is. Like, did you see this new lady? She's out here looking for info, and I think Kyoto's the one who called her out on it. Kyoto said, hey, look, lady, you're at the wrong spot. This lady right here. So Ann Vanderstill, she says, calling all GameStoppers. Why are you calling GameStoppers? The MMTLP community has been fleeced out of tens of thousands of lives ruined by investment banks, regulatory agencies, and potential corrupt politicians. We need to increase the army to help people fight back. No. Who are you, lady, and why? What do you think this is? Are you guys climate control specialists? Is that what you are? You want to go ahead and take down the whole system. The RICO syndicate, that this is that is responsible. This ends, when we say it ends, blah, blah, blah. No, lady, you're not going to get me all riled up. But you know who she got riled up and got excited? Watch this. It was Michael. Michael over here on Twitter. If you guys don't know about Cry Michael, Mind and Emotion Michael, the guy who knew nothing about Bed Bath & Beyond but went over there and started sucking on pee-pee seats. She put in there, send me a DM, which is embarrassing. And why? Because he goes off on all roads. That is everything. And of course, as he's talking, what is he going to put in there? He's going to put right here, Cayman Islands are where most of the counterfeit shares for MMTLP, BBBYQ, and GameStop are. But in cases of BBBYQ, for instance, there are a lot of counterfeit shares in Australia and Mexico. I mean, this is what we're talking about, Austria and Mexico. Okay, And then he says, you heard it here first. He said something like, you heard it here first at the PP show. Something to that effect. I'm just going to tell you, man. I hope she contacts him. I hope she spends a lot of her time. I don't even know who the hell she is. Her followers, 300-something thousand followers. I should know her. Still News or something. Michael, 24,000 followers. How? On what? What is this? What is this picture, Michael? I don't understand these pictures. I don't understand everything you do. I just know that you're full of shit. And they're all fixated on Doug Shifu and all this other stuff. These guys are the guys who couldn't see Bed Bath & Beyond for the heist that it was. And that's not my problem. That's theirs. I stick to things that are factual. I stick to private equity and learning how to explain that to people rather than these rabbit holes these guys go down or tinfoil. So shout out to those kids. They don't have a clue. Taylor talk episode was legendary, Marantz. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Taylor, well, he signed his own death warrant. He went in there into the Discord and just belittled everybody. Ooh, my desk is still moving. Sorry, I got to lock it in. Let me lock it in. Right there, locked. Anyway, but I did listen, like I was saying before I interrupted myself, I listened to the interview again, I listened to it, and I hear things, because I hear things the way people say them. And the way they say them is the way that they were told them. Oh, it's a dying business model. It's spiraling. It's going down. That's what it looks like to me. And then he's using how old information. He didn't even know what quarter it was. He was a year behind. Well, they're a $12.5 billion company versus, and it's like they're not $12.5 billion. That was last year when they ended the year. If you're having information that's 6 months old, 8 months old, 9 months old, and then in this case even a year, like you're going to be behind. You're going to be not ahead of it. But why would you feel the need to come in and bash and destroy and or question something that you don't even really want questions and answers to? Like it never stopped. It went into the Discord all day today where it was just continued bullshit. But for those of you out there that actually have questions about GameStop, it's not that I'm not open to it. I'm completely open to questions on GameStop. I really am. But here's the way business works for GameStop. They already built something. They built it a long time ago. And when they built this brand and this company, they built it, but they didn't have an end game in mind. They didn't have a goal. They didn't have a vision. They didn't have a dream. They were just building. So when you build like that, of course, you're building for your own demise, and maybe that is the end game. Maybe that is the goal. But when Ryan Cohen comes in, he gives you a whole new way of looking at the investment. So to unbuild something, that takes time. That might be the quarters you see right now. We're unbuilding the problems that were built into the company. But now we have a vision. Okay, so how big is this company going to get? No, you got to plan that out beforehand. You ever start something? You guys ever want to start something? Start at the finish line. Start with the idea. Start with the goal in mind, because now we're going to work that goal. And how do we get there? For us, we're looking at earnings, profit. What are you measuring? How are you measuring? Because it'd be one thing to say, you know what? I want to be a $100 billion company, right? That's how you're going to grow. You're going to grow it based off of, and I got to close this down. I get 1,000 messages a day. It's unbelievable. That's why I always have my phone on mute, because there's no stopping it. There we go. So you get 1,000 messages, right? 1,000 messages. I'm so sorry. So you have this idea of how big you want to do, but there's times where you don't have a number. There's times where you don't have an idea. Like if I asked you, how you're a business owner, how much do you want your business to be worth? How much money do you want to make? How much revenue? So the other way to measure things is going to be like, how much are you going to make out of it? How much are you going to get back on your investment? That's another way to do it, right? If I look at somebody and I say, okay, you want to own a business, and what do you want to do? And they don't give me the idea. I want to own a business that has 700 employees, that has 5 different locations. No. They're going to come to me, they're going to say, Marantz, I want a business that's going to make me $20,000 a month, because I have expenses, I have a lifestyle, but I want to make that. And then you go, okay, that's something I can get you. I can get you that dollar. Now I'm going to figure out how to get you that dollar, whether it be margins or take home or profit, like however I want to do it. But that's how I'm visioning GameStop. So when I look at GameStop, it's one of these things about delayed gratification. Okay, you want to I built this company. I invested into this company. This is Ryan, right? That has all these profits. He doesn't care. But the glamour of it all is based off of what? Media. It's based off of perception. It's based off of what you're told. So it can't be that profitable. He's never sold a share. GameStop can't be that great. He's never sold a share. He's a terrible investor, Ryan Cohen. Terrible builder, terrible investor. Really? I'm looking at it. Ryan could sell right now for $700, $800 million. What does that mean? He invested $100 million. He's up 800%. He could literally sell off his whole thing. He's once been worth over $2 billion on his investment in GameStop. So wouldn't you say he's very successful? But you can't measure success until you sell, apparently. But that's the point. What if his end game, what if his timeline is saying, well, I don't want to sell anything until I'm worth $100 billion on GameStop? What if that's his map and his time? We don't know. But it's delayed. It's delayed. And right now, the idea behind everybody is this is going to the moon. And that's unfair as well. Because I've been told before, going to the moon is a calculated event. A moon shot, NASA landed on the moon. That was calculated by decades of research. So is that so far-fetched? Going to the moon? I think it's possible. I think it's possible right now. 1 second, guys. The family's here, so I had to lock the door. I don't want somebody to walk in while I'm here. Yeah, we're going to go over all that right now. Hello, Marantz. I saw your video responding me. As a new GME investor, I'd like to have a discussion. Many people argue that issuing shares is a cause of dilution, which is not true, but the dilution is caused by not meeting the cost of equity, return on equity that investors expect by holding the cash and letting it sit. Nope. It's like you guys walk right into it and you guys don't realize what it means. It has nothing to do with raising cash. It has nothing to do with what you're doing with the cash. It's someone knocking on your door because you have value, and someone wants to own that too. GameStop goes to the moon, right? It goes up, it goes all the way through the sky. It takes all its shares with it, and the only way you're going to create value for yourself and intrinsic value is going to be that we have more shares to go around. So what would you rather own? Would you rather own 100% of a grape? Or would you rather own 80% of a watermelon? This is GameStop, the grape, and then them diluting shares and giving 20% to someone else, but yet they became a watermelon. Now they're massive because they have so many shares. But what would you rather own? 100% of the grape or 80% of the watermelon? What would you do? I'm going to take watermelons all day. But the mindset is wrong. The mindset is that every time somebody does something that has an immediate reaction to you, and it doesn't. It's delayed. Why is it that everyone's afforded timelines for return on investments, but yet GameStop's not? Because they're not making a move. When you start judging them based off of what they're doing versus what they're not doing, that's your mindset. That's not mine. I don't judge leadership based off of what they do. Their calculated moves. I'm not judging GameStop based off of investments they're going to make. I don't care. You know what I love? The stuff they don't do. That's what I love. That's how I view it. You know what I love about my wife? She doesn't cheat. She doesn't use me for certain things. All that great stuff. That's what I love. Doesn't beat the kids. Doesn't malnourishment for them. No child neglect. All the stuff I love that you don't do. That's what I value. You know what I wouldn't value? Everything she does. Hey. I prefer to know the things that she's not going to do versus what she does do. It's just my own personal preference. It's the way it's the you know how people always say the risk. What did he say the other night? He said, well, what about risk? I mitigate risk by knowing what they're not going to do. Yeah. That's how I do it. Smoke weed? No? Good. Then I know they're not going to be this brain dead idiot at some point throughout the day or night. In a contrarian fund, again, they're taking your equity and providing you and themselves with cash You have expectations on equity by holding that cash and waiting for the market to crash. They are just speculating. Oh, here we go. So you got another account, and now you're here with another fund. Now, I saw you in the chat the other day. So are you already blocked and banned from the Discord? Because I'm about to invite you so we can have a conversation. Because you're typing too much already. But what else do I expect from you meltdowners here, knowing GameStop went up and is going to continue to go up? I'm going to answer all your questions. I have no problem doing it. It's like I tell you things, but you don't listen. So they muted you on Discord. Even better. Here we go. Click the link. I'm pretty sure they kicked you, but they didn't block you. Or maybe they did. Maybe I did. I don't know. But yeah, you should be muted with this bullshit you're writing. So here you go. You said, again, they are taking your equity and providing you and themselves with cash. You have expectations on equity, but holding that cash and waiting for a market crash, they are just speculating. EPS goes down at the beginning because the share count is up. They use the cash efficiently, EPS catches back up, but if they don't do it, remains low. Yeah. I guess all of that would matter if Wall Street would rate it correctly and analysts covered the stock and gave it fair value, which they currently don't. When you've read the articles, it says fair values that are over $120 a share. That was recent too. That was just last week. So maybe you're wrong. But I got another one for you. Let's see. You're providing themselves with cash. They put in as much money as I do, as in the percentage, right? Like Ryan Cohen buys his own shares with his own money. He doesn't get paid with it. He doesn't get awarded it. GameStop doesn't pay these officials that are officially buying in with their own money. So I don't understand what you're saying. The board of directors all buy in their own position. What is it that they've done? They take zero pay from the company, yet they buy in over 7 figures worth of shares. So I don't understand. Did I miss something there, guys? I need to know what I need to know. So, because here's my biggest thing. Like all of you guys out there, contrarian fund, you're no different. You got to be one of the dumbest guys in the room right now. Like, could you? Let me ask you. Like, I can't join. It says you have no permission. Man, that sucks, huh? It means you should act correctly back in the day. You should act correctly. You know how you can get in? Go make another account. Go set up a fake burner account like your original one, like the one you're using right now, and then you can get in, and then you come talk to me. But I'm going to tell the guys something. Like, okay, so I'm having a dream here. GameStop's going to be massive. GameStop has all this cash, and these guys are knocking it, and these guys are not. These guys are against it. You muted me because I was telling the truth. What the now I'm going to mute you. That's what I'm going to do. I don't need you to tell me what you're doing. You're going to be lonely. Okay? That's you, the internet, very alone. That's you right now. And so I will not lose any sleep over it. I'm here to teach. I know a lot of people are learning, and when they hear things, they probably want to write it down, take notes, and be like, damn, man, that was a cold ass saying, Marantz just said. Be like, yeah, I know, because you know what I do all day? I learn all day. And I brainstorm and I think and I do it. So it's going to suck. If you consider dilution, you can't consider the debt. If you consider the debt, you can't consider dilution. It's one or the other. Well, true proof. And, I'm going to do it a different way. Like, my biggest gripe that I have with these meltdowners that come into the room, into the chat, like the guy last night, Taylor, 2 nights ago, he's an absolute finance bro. Absolute meltdown. Absolute, this is the way I invest. I'm very successful in my investments. And he wants to prove his point. This is the way you invest. This is the proper way. You're doing it all wrong. And it's not the proper way. And here's why it's not the proper way. Because one, you haven't figured out what connect the dots is. That's the first thing. I think that's what makes me so strong and convicted about my investment. Once you understand connect the dots and the narratives behind it, and don't worry, you guys will, because you'll all be able to get the book real soon. The book's almost done. So once it's done, it's yours, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Be able to buy one for your cousins and everybody, and it's reasonable pricing, not $20 a copy, under $20 a copy. You're gonna love it, but it's a book worth having on your shelf. And certainly for all of us diamond hand investors here in this channel, I already know you guys one or two or three copies. Why? Because you know how valuable it will be to have somebody understand why the hell we're so convinced in GameStop, why we're so right. And you know who co-signed what I'm saying? Ryan Cohen co-signed it when he said let them short, and then he said the whole system's fucked. And why? Because they're shorting it, and they're doing everything they can to get their 2 and 20. So let me tell you, can we get the book in Sweden? I believe you can. I believe you can. And you're gonna get the links real soon. It'll all be there. I'm gonna try to get it to you by the new year. I'm gonna take a weekend coming up real soon where I'm just grinding it out. And even if it's New Year's Day, I'm going to grind that shit out one day because I'm not watching football. Cowboys are done, so there's nothing else to watch. Anyway, back to the story. When you think about GameStop, I thought about this today because I was like, I'm mad at these guys, man. These guys who tell me that they're not doing it, they're this and that, it's not fast enough, it's not sustainable, Pokemon cards aren't it. Like, they don't understand. And that's because, like, you try to do everything at once. Like, can you eat a whole pizza? Can you eat a whole pizza? Extra large, all the toppings. Can you eat the whole pizza? Yeah. I'm sure you can. I'm sure all of you can eat the pizza. Or the real answer is you just got to do it slice by slice. One piece at a time. So when GameStop comes out and they go, we're going to change our operation hours. There's a bite. We're going to change the way we pay our employees and the way we hire. There's another bite. We're going to change the product, but there's another bite. Oh, new slice. We're going to do it this way. We're going to do, like, these gradual changes that you're taking shape over time. I'm eating piece by piece by piece. Eventually, you have the whole damn pizza in your body. And you go, okay, where's seconds? Where's thirds? Where's fourths? I'm ready. Pizza. But that's how they're doing this business because you got to unbuild it. Okay? And when you're unbuilding, you give yourself this timeline, inherent timeline, how you're going to build it back. Better. Fixed. All of it. Renovated. You're able to do all that. Now, I've been trying to find a way where I can fit in a nonprofit. And what I mean by that nonprofit and or charity for GameStop, I think it's the only thing they're missing right now, personally. If you can tie in your business to a nonprofit or a charity, it will give people a connection to you. A lot of companies do this. A lot of companies feel the need to say, here's my loyalty. Ronald McDonald. Same case in point. And you'll find the Judes with some other investment, Children's Miracle Network via Costco and numerous other retailers. When GameStop can find their charity, they're going to be able to tie it into something, and that'll create a allegiance. And so that's what it comes down to. Now, the best parts of GameStop in the execution that people need to understand is this one. And I equate it to, we can do gardening, a gardener. Okay. If a gardener comes to your house every day and cuts your grass, he's wasting gas, he's wasting hours, and he's not being as productive as he could be if he would just to let it grow. But if he told you, I'm going to be there every week on Friday, and he gets to plan it out his own way, that would maximize his gas, his profits. It would do well for you because you'd give a polished product, and he actually trained you on what the expectation is from him, but he gets to do more with less. He's going to maximize what he does. You would agree? Everybody. Okay, good. Think about this, because this is what's been happening with GameStop over the last year and a half. It's like people don't understand retail. The retail tricks that GameStop does is life changing. They're not doing cutting the grass every day. They're not bringing in shipments of Pokemon cards to sell every day, so it's sporadic and you never know when it's coming back. The uncertainty of the shopper not knowing. No. They get to plan it out for these release dates with this much product at this time. They get to increase payrolls for that time frame. They get to increase their hours. They understand the influx for that given day. They now will make more profit because they logistically won't be sending the product scattered. They get to plan things. And as they're planning them, they're executing. So when people look at GameStop's earnings and they go, wait a minute, they're doing better in this category, this category, this category. You know why they're doing better in this category called collectibles? It's not because it was like by mistake. No, they have programmed everyone to understand that new business model. I'm going to be there weekly, not daily. I'm going to be there monthly, not weekly. I'm going to be there quarterly, not monthly. I'm going to be there yearly, not quarterly. Do you understand? When you do these things and you build in these systems, we call them programs. I'll never forget this interview I got. The guy goes, how are you on programs? And I said, programs? Programs, I'm amazing. What is it? The upgrade program, the credit card program? I'm good on all the safety program. I'm good on all that. This guy's a real understander of how to run things. He said, Marantz, those are not programs. He says, those are promotions. Programs are, do you have a program? I.e., I have a cleanup program. I have a Showtime Ready program. Right? I have this program that's going to add 4 employees on this given day, on this holiday. I've got a program for every midnight release. Those are programs that you can annualize and build into a budget for the next year. You get to count those same dollars against yours and do better. That's how you program. Remember, there's controls and there's programs. If you're good at controls, then money's not walking out the door. If you're good at programs, you're able to budget and annualize on that budget. This is production. Remember, in the world of all business, there's manufacturing and then there's production. What are we doing? Like, is there sales? Is it manufacturing? Like, what are we doing? We're doing better business. That's the point. So I want that out there, that GameStop's killing it. So the fact that we get to plan and execute and control, well, then that's how you actually get to grow. The profits are so minimal now that we're still in transition in teaching everyone how to eat this pizza one slice at a time. For now. I did see collectors bought Becket. It's on my list of things to talk about tonight. Does it really matter? No, Becket's a dying business model. It's a dying avenue. They're going to leave the name as is, but it doesn't matter. They already own 90% of the market. There's nothing anyone can do. It's an absolute monopoly, and GameStop is partnered up with it, so I'm happy. It reminds me of something. I don't know who's here at my house. There must be kids here. There's people here. Dogs are going crazy. And I apologize for the noise in the background, but this is the life you live when you have a family and it's a birthday and everyone's over. I need to go out there. 1 second, guys, because now I'm going to go out there. Headlines to go over. We've got stuff to talk about. I say quick, but it's going to be just enough. Do we know when Power Pack's website will be open for everybody? We don't, Alan. I don't think they have enough inventory to handle everyone. I think they let in as much as they could as far as traffic goes, but it's tough. Okay, so I was going to talk about the collector's agreement for Becket. What it reminds me is the dairy industry. If you're not familiar with dairy industry or the pork industry, it's one of those things where they go, oh, the other white meat, where everyone just got together, right? Got milk. The dairy farmers, what do? They stopped fighting with each other. They decided, you know, it'd be better if we all get together. So card collectors the same way. card collecting and grading, saying, you know what? It's going to be better if we just put all under one roof because PSA is going to win anyway. And GameStop changed the game on that. They changed the whole world on that. So they allowed everyone to get their cards graded, not just the local card shops. So that means a lot. I did see, and I wanted to go into detail on some of this stuff, but I can't right now because everyone's here. And I want to, but I can't at the moment. I just can't. But I'm going to go through some of this stuff. Strategy listed that they bought another $1 billion of Bitcoin, which is ridiculous. And, the price keeps coming down, and it should. It was down 7%, 8% today. To keep buying and buying and buying, knowing you have to pay a dividend on your preferred shares, knowing that you have zero cash, you're just borrowing money to pay someone else, robbing Peter to pay Paul, all because you're sitting on a Bitcoin. I'm telling you, Bitcoin's tanking down at 80,000. So if you want to go ahead and just keep touching it there and adding in, that's great. But your business model is no business model. So it's pretty tough for strategy. This is $1 billion of Bitcoin 2 weeks in a row. Unbelievable. You knew that they took some of their Bitcoin off the books, put it with Fidelity. And why? Because they get to sell it through Fidelity, believe it or not. And you wouldn't know about the transaction because Fidelity's holding it within their books. And they don't get to show you what's going on. I did see that iRobot, Roomba, filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 11. What I tell you, products that sit in Costco shelves definitely go bankrupt. So I'm just waiting for Dyson next, bro. That's it. I had more notes for you guys. I was looking at this throughout my night. I told you about Powerball, 1.1 billion. I have the tickets. I have the winning ticket. Don't even worry about it. I got you. The other thing was, I was looking at this MMTLP thing. I'm looking at Bed Bath & Gone. I'm looking at GameStop, looking at AMC, all this stuff. And people remember this stuff, Those warehouses that were getting burned down, paperwork vanishing. You guys saw 9/11 happen where they actually tore down the World Trade Center, building number 7. What do? It's timing for me. It's timing for me. That when I see things happen, I go, what the hell? Look at that timing. Like Tesla going public. Tesla went public 2010. When was the last time an American vehicle company went public? Before that, like 1956, I think it was Ford. So you're going to tell me it took 60 something years for somebody to go public again. And when they go public, it just happens to be right when the financial crisis is happening, all this great stuff. So Elon Musk goes public, right? Okay. Guess what was announced? Announced today that in 2026, that this SpaceX is going to go public. And they got a valuation of $800 billion, and they're selling positions. Google's net value goes all the way to the sky, guys. They actually have a position into SpaceX. Your boy Elon Musk, worth over $600 billion for a vague moment today. And it just tells you, because that's the valuation people are giving it. You think someone's going to go buy? I already told you. You can have SpaceX all you want. What the hell is it going to make? Oh, it's going to cost you money, but how is it going to provide a profit for anyone? I have a problem right now because I'm already calling out NVIDIA. I've called out NVIDIA forever, and AI and this bullshit about them not making profit. But I knew the problem with NVIDIA because I lived it. I lived the TVs. Like I told you guys, TVs were coming out too fast. That if you were buying one year, 6 months later, it was already going to be obsolete, and or a better one would be on the market. So what the hell are you going to buy? Now it's to the point everything's a 4K because it's all the cameras can do. Remember, you're a and I don't want to use the word, but you're a slave to it. You can't buy a 5K TV. It doesn't matter. 4K is all you can distribute, and you can't even do live 4K. So you're beholden to the camera. That's what's happening with TVs. But the value keeps coming down because competition, people are buying it, technology's changing, all that good stuff. Okay, listen. This happened with computers. Everyone was waiting for a faster chip. I got the Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium. And you're just saying, maybe these guys are making the best chip ever. Maybe that's how Intel's doing. Intel has all this, but guess what? AMD came through, did even better. And now what? You have stages of it, tiers of it. Well, AI has the same problem. AI right now is beholden onto the data centers. Data centers can't take in the chips they're building. And when the data center gets built for that said chip, guess what? It's already obsolete by the next year because NVIDIA is on a timeline unlike anyone else's. NVIDIA is designing chips that are going to become obsolete within the year. They already have it forecasted. So if you're right there spending CapEx to get the H100s, it's going to be the H2s, the 3s, everything. Now we're at Blackwell. Now we're at the next one, the next one. They're gone. You're never going to catch them. Or should you just wait 5 years? Just sit back and sit on your hands and wait with your money and say, okay, I'll wait until this settles down, until competition slides in, or until you make the polished product, the finished product. But no one's doing that. They're actually double spending, triple spending just to keep up. That's what's happening. That's what Cassandra Unchained put out tonight. If you didn't read it, that's exactly what he's talking about. But I see it because I've lived it. I've absolutely lived it. In the chat right now, I guess I'll put this on. Nobody? Okay, cool. I have to close it only because people are going to be coming over. Everyone's here already at the house. It's packed, so I apologize. All of cost savings getting to the top back end, without trading and streamlining. PSA also able to grade more because office cross locations. That's cool. I had a Pentium 486 DX2 with 8 megs of RAM. Oh my God. Hello, family. 51. Yeah, probably not good anymore. Hey, Marantz, hope you are doing awesome. What is your guess on Burry's upcoming post date? Also, do you think he will reveal a position? If you win Powerball, would you go all in on GameStop? LMFAO. No. A couple of things would happen. One, I said I'd split it with all my employees, so we did the math, we'd each get $11 million. And it's a 1.1 billion, but that's after taxes and one lump sum, all that. I'd get 11 billion take home. I'd give my wife 6, I'd keep 5, and I'd put $2.5 million into GameStop. That's what I would do. And I would do it all at once right now. Yes. At $22 or whatever it is. I don't care. I wouldn't care what the price is. And I would give $2.5 million. That's what you'd get out of me. I'm easy. SpaceX makes money by launching satellites into orbit for other companies, even their competitors. That's awesome. You think that's a profitable business forever? That's going to make them enough money for $1 trillion market cap? I'll let you know what $1 trillion is. I hope I win too. Had the PC before and the internet existed. About to play my first Doom. Should have learned to program. Nah, not for me. That's not how my brain works. But I'm with you on that. And thank you guys so much. Okay, so back to my things. I was talking about this because for some reason Elon Musk gets to launch new businesses whenever we're about to crash. It's weird. That's what I'm telling you. We're about to crash. Boom, SpaceX coming. Take the money off the table, and then everybody fails. And maybe he wins. I don't know. That's just been the trend to it all. But if you ever want to see what's going on with the insurance, you get to say, I love it. Insurance people will go like this. What are you claiming on your insurance? You go, I'm claiming the value of this, and that. And they go, do you have any proof that you bought all that? I said, yeah. I had receipts, but they were in that office. They burned up. My bad. They burned up. I didn't get to look at Crocs. I got to look at Crocs. I've got to go to Oracle. I said I was going to break down Oracle because they're pulling down broadband, and Oracle are pulling down the whole S&P. I'm going to go look at that sheet. I promise Mike, Money Mike, AMC Mike, Big Mike. I promise him I'd be looking it up. We were talking cannabis stocks, that Tilray, SNDL, all the Playboys, right? They're out there going up in value. Because Trump just comes out and says, I'm thinking about making weed legal or going to a recommended drug via a doctor. Okay, so you just saying that makes the stocks go up. What makes the stocks go up, guys, and why? Who's giving them this peddling notes? Who's giving them walking papers? Yeah, hey, Trump, do this now. Yeah, we got to be able to pump this market and pump this leverage the way it goes. Tomorrow is the jobs numbers. It usually doesn't come out on Tuesday, but it's tomorrow, so pay attention to that. I've got to look at Sonic. Sonic hired a new guy from Arby's, John Kelly. I got to look that up. I haven't had time. And then Denise Dresser got hired over at OpenAI, and I got to check her out because she's the new CFO. Oh, wait a minute. It's CRO, Chief Revenue Officer. Not Restructuring Officer, Revenue Officer. I'll find out, Sam Altman. I really will. Other than that, she'll roll plan sales, plan on payroll, Inventory. Yeah, I already did all that. We're good. I mean, I could go. I'm rushing the show tonight only because family's here and I got everything going on. So I apologize, guys. I'd give you more info and we'd have so much more information to talk about, but I can't even go grab stuff and break it down because everyone's here. So I hope you guys understand. Here's the chart. I haven't even looked at the chart today. GameStop went all the way up and to the right. Boom. Hit 23 in the pre-market here. You see it. 23 coming out the gate on that after-hour thing, on the midnight market, then 24-hour market. Then this was our run today, and then just get pushed back down, which is fine. Looking healthy. I went and looked at companies like Palantir. Palantir, if I go to the daily, crashing in the after-hour. Anybody want to tell me why it's crashing? Anybody know why? It ended today where it was, and then now it's just crashing to the after-hours. Right, all the way down to 179, down another 2%. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked into it at all. Same thing with the rest of the market, just crashing after the fact. Kind of scary when you're crashing after the fact. After we close, this whole market crashed. On the daily, you won't see it, but you definitely will find it on the whole market. And here's why: this thing can't even get past the 50-day moving average. Can't even move up. But look at what happens after it closes. So it closed today, and you lost another %, and it's still falling. So we have problems. I don't know who's willing to answer to them or who's willing to tell you the truth about them. But the best part about it all is that negative delta. You know, if we're going to be the opposite of the market goes down and keeps going down even after hours, yet we went up today. I'll let that inverse teach me everything I need to know about my investment. But what do I know? I'm just a GameStop dude. GameStop can't stop, won't stop. GameStop, what does it say? A lot has to do with the threat of Japan raising their interest rates up to 2% on Friday, so needing liquidity. I wish them all the best of luck. I saw Warren Buffett's taking his money back over there, $380 million, $1 billion. I'm so sorry, $340 billion or whatever it was. But either way, I got to get going, guys. Family's here. It's birthday. Shout out to my daughter, 27. Damn, I'm old. GameStop can't stop, won't stop.